Hello from Inside Drug Discovery. This video describes a drug that was recently approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. That drug is BLUJEPA. BLUJEPA was approved on March 25, 2025. BLUJEPA is approved for the treatment of uncomplicated urinary tract infections. We will go into more detail on the indication in an upcoming slide. The API, the active pharmaceutical ingredient in BLUJEPA, is gepotidacin. BLUJEPA is administered orally, twice per day, with each dose consisting of 2 750 milligram tablets. The regimen runs for 5 days. The applicant for BLUJEPA's NDA is GlaxoSmithKline. The prescribing information insert of BLUJEPA is cited at the bottom of this slide, and most of the information in this video is pulled from this one reference. Urinary tract infections, or UTIs, these are bacterial infections that affect the urinary tract, including the bladder, urethra, and kidneys. These bacterial infections are treated with antibiotics. One method of categorizing a UTI is either as an uncomplicated or complicated UTI. Uncomplicated is the default category and most relevant to our discussion of BLUJEPA. Complicated UTIs have additional factors underlying the infection, such as perhaps the patient is diabetic or the patient has kidney stones. In the case of BLUJEPA, the drug is approved specifically for uncomplicated UTIs. Furthermore, the UTI should be caused by one of the 5 bacterial strains listed on the screen. In addition, BLUJEPA is approved for use in adult female patients as well as pediatric patients of at least 12 years of age and with a mass of 40 kilograms or higher. The mechanism of action of the drug is inhibition of type 2 topoisomerases, including bacterial topoisomerase 2 and 4. The drug acts through DNA intercalation, likely through this flat ring system on the left of the structure. Intercalation in the DNA strand alters the shape of the strand and therefore inhibits bacterial DNA replication. The physicochemical properties of gepotidacin are shown on the screen. These properties are for gepotidacin itself, although the API is formulated as its mesylate dihydrate in BLUJEPA. These properties are unremarkable and show that gepotidacin lies within oral drug space and can be reasonably expected to be absorbed orally. I will note that DrugBank indicates that gepotidacin has 5 rotatable bonds, but I only see 4. I'm not sure whether I'm missing something or if the calculation software used by DrugBank, Chemaxon in this case, is off. On this slide, we have selected PK properties for BLUJEPA. I want to highlight these lower parameters, especially bioavailability and plasma protein binding. The oral bioavailability is moderate at 45%. We'll come back to that idea on the next slide. During discovery and development, the efficacy of the drug was correlated to drug exposure, specifically exposure based on the unbound plasma concentration. So plasma protein binding is key for understanding the efficacy of BLUJEPA. For metabolism and excretion, the main route of metabolism is CYP3A4 oxidation. The major metabolite is M4, which accounts for 11% of circulating drug-related material. I could not find the structure of M4, but some language I found from online sources leads me to think that M4 arises from some oxidation of this heteroaromatic ring system on the left of the parent drug. The amount of drug dose excreted in the feces is higher than the dose excreted in the urine. Although these numbers would imply that the feces is the main excretion route, keep in mind that absorption of gepotidacin is moderate at around 45%. Much of the drug observed in the feces has simply passed straight through the patient. When considering the absorbed drug, the urine is the primary excretion route. Finally, what are the warnings and adverse reactions that are possible with BLUJEPA? These first 4 bullets are warnings. QTc prolongation in an electrocardiogram is a potential serious risk, as is acetylcholinesterase inhibition manifested as dysarthria, which is slurred speech. Hypersensitivity is a warning that is carried by almost all drugs. C. diff infection is a warning that applies to many antibacterials like BLUJEPA and can arise from how antibacterials upset the balance in one's gut microbiome. The last bullet point shows adverse reactions observed in at least 1% of patients. Many of these are GI reactions and generally appear to be mild. That is the end of this summary of the approval of the new drug application of BLUJEPA, which was granted by the U.S. FDA on March 25th of 2025. BLUJEPA contains gepotidacin as its active pharmaceutical ingredient and is approved for the treatment of uncomplicated urinary tract infections. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, making a comment, or leaving a question. Take care.